Roundabouts. Roundabouts, rotarious circular intersections, and traffic circles are all terms for intersections with a circular island in the center. Roundabouts might have one or more lines. Entering traffic must yield the right of way to traffic already in the circle. Each road approaching the roundabout is marked with a yield sign and may also have yield line markings on the pavement. However, rotarious and other circles may have stop signs. Drivers must pay attention and obey the signs. When approaching a roundabout, slow down. Use your turn signals to indicate where you want to go. If you plan to turn right, stay to the right as you enter the roundabout. If you plan to go straight, you may stay in either line. If it is a dual line circular intersection, if you plan to turn left, stay to the left as you enter the roundabout. Tips for driving safely through a roundabout. As you approach the roundabout, slow down. Look for the street and directions signs. This will help you know which exit to take. These signs should be posted along the roadside before you reach the roundabout. When you arrive at the roundabout, yield the right of way to pedestrians and bicycles. You also must yield to any vehicles already in the roundabout. Sometimes your entry point will be controlled by a stop or yield sign or traffic signal. When the way is clear, you may enter the roundabout. While inside the roundabout, stay in your line until you are ready to exit. Use your vehicle's right turn signal to let drivers around you know that you want to do. Do not change lines or take an exit before checking for vehicles that may be continuing through the roundabout in the lane next to you or behind you. Expect vehicles to be in the blind spot you cannot see in your review or side mirrors. Quickly glance over your shoulder and check for any vehicles that might be in your blind spot. Changing lines. Before changing lines, check your side and rear view mirror for traffic approaching you from behind. Then, use your turn signal to let other drivers know you plan to change lines. Check for other drivers who also might be moving into the same line. Just before you begin moving into the other line, quickly glance over your shoulder and check for any vehicles that might be in your blind spot. Whether you are changing lines, passing, entering, or exiting a highway, always use your turn signals and check traffic to the rear and sides. When driving on a multi-line highway, stay in the right line if you are driving slower than the traffic around you. When passing another vehicle, check the traffic ahead of you, behind you, and in your blind spot before you attempt to pass. Signal and then accelerate to pass. Return to the right line as soon as you can see the front of the passed vehicle in your review mirror. It is against the law to exceed the speed limit as you pass. Complete the pass before you reach a no passing zone. If you are still in the left line when you reach the zone, you are breaking the law. You may pass on the right if the vehicle you are passing has signaled and is marking a left turn. Be cautious because the vehicle you are passing might be blocking your view or blocking the view of other drivers. You may not pass on the right if you must drive off the pavement or main portion of the roadway to get around the other vehicle. When approaching or passing a person riding a bicycle, moped, or power-assisted bicycle or other device, reduce speed and pass at least 2 feet to the left. When being passed, don't speed up. Maintain a steady speed or slow down. Passing is unlawful and unsafe on hills, curves, at intersections or railroad crossings, except on roads with 2 or more lanes or traffic moving in the same direction, off the pavement or shoulder of the road. When a school bus is stopped to load or unload passengers on a public road, unless a physical barrier or unpaved median separates traffic going in their direction, or on a private road, when a solid line marks the left side of your line. Overcorrecting. Overcorrecting occurs when the driver turns the steering wheel more sharply than expected, causing the rear wheels of the vehicle to slide toward the outside of the turn. This might result in the loss of vehicle control. Most overcorrection crashes are signal vehicle crashes and are not preventable. A driver should remain alert at all times, reduce speed, and use extra caution while driving on curved roads. If you ever off the road, if you veer off the road, curved or straight, do not panic. Gradually reduce your speed. Look in the direction you want to go. Slowly steer back onto the roadway. Turning. To make a right turn, you should be in the line closest to the curb. Signal your intent to turn by using the proper turn signal. You should signal at least 3 or 4 seconds 100 feet ahead of the turn. Look to your left to check the intersection for pedestrians and traffic coming from the other direction. Then brake smoothly before and during the turn. If there is a traffic line or a spot sign at the intersection, come to a complete stop before you make the turn. Turn into the line closest to the curb, unless pavement marking lead to otherwise, and then change lines if needed. To make a left turn, you should be in the furthest left line possible, turning into the leftmost line on the intersection road unless pavement marking lead you otherwise, or unless multiple left turn lines are provided. If multiple left turn lines are provided, you should choose the line that will best serve your need once you enter the intersecting road. Signal your intent to turn by using the proper turn signal. You should signal at least 3 to 4 seconds 100 feet ahead of the turn. Look in all directions, checking the intersections for pedestrians and traffic coming from the opposite direction. Keep your front wheels pointed straight ahead until you are actually going to make the left turn. This prevents you from being pushed into oncoming traffic in another vehicle crashes into you from behind. When the way is clear, make the left turn. Yield to any vehicles, including bicycles and pedestrians, approaching from the opposite direction. When two vehicles are approaching each other and are signaling to turn left, both vehicles should turn in front of each other so that the passenger sides of the vehicles are beside each other. U-turn. U-turns are not legal everywhere. Before you make a U-turn, check for no U-turn or not left turn signals. In business districts, cities, and towns, U-turns are allowed only in intersections. Never make a U-turn on a highway. When making a U-turn, turn on your left and turn signal stop and yell for approaching traffic. When the way is clear, proceed into the outside or right hand line, traveling in the opposite direction. Turn signals. When you plan to change lines, turn or enter or exit a highway, first give the proper turn signal. Using your turn signal, which is required by law, communicate your intent movement to drivers around you. Develop a good habit and use turn signals or hand signals even if no other traffic is on the road. When you plan to turn signals 3 or 4 seconds, 100 feet ahead of you, turn. Be aware that drivers planning to turn into your line may not know exactly where you will turn. Drivers may pull out in front of you. Be alert. After you complete the turn or line change, be sure the turn signal stopped flashing.